Howdy do, everyone. Nate the Great Reviews is back with another one. This isn't a review, just kind of a list of my favorite Disney Plus shows. My least favorite, and then we'll get to my favorite. So, starting off with the worst. Coming in at number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6, and we have Miss Marvel coming out, and then She-Hulk. So, oh man, coming in at number 6 is Moon Knight. I really wanted the show to be good. I watched every episode, and every episode was just a drag for me. Moon Knight, I had never read the comics, so as soon as I saw that trailer, I loved it. I thought Marvel did an awesome job marketing the show. The first episode was underwhelming, and then it just went on from there. Really bad editing, bad fight scenes, bad cinematography. The only good thing about this show is Oscar Isaac's acting and Ethan Hawke's acting. Two very talented actors. They still did their part with the show. I don't blame them whatsoever. It's just the script that they were given. I didn't really like it. We literally had, maybe out of all 6 episodes, we had Moon Knight, actual Moon Knight, for maybe 10-15 minutes over 6 hours, which is nowhere near enough. Obviously, I want to see Mark Spector and his other personalities, but the way they handled it, it kind of felt like they were shoving this whole mental health aspect down our throat. I couldn't get into the show. The pacing was terrible. The CGI was bad. And of course, Marvel has to have the girl tag alongside the guy. I really hope down the road they can make a movie. I think this would have been better as a 2-hour movie. I did not think this needed to be a show. But like I said, I don't know Moon Knight that much. But this was my introduction to him, and I'm not happy with it. Coming in at number 5, I'm gonna give it to What If. Actually, no, Loki. Loki, oh man. They completely... I did not like this show either, at all. Which sucked, because when the marketing came out for this, my hype was fucking so high. As soon as I saw the TVA, the Time Variant Agency, I was so excited what they're going to do with this whole multiverse thing, and just seeing Loki in it. Yet again, I would say the first 2 episodes of this show were the best, when it's just him and Owen Wilson. I really did enjoy that. But as soon as when you get to I think it's the 2nd episode, they completely retcon Loki. They make it so everything in Infinity War and blah 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 didn't happen, and they try to make a different variant of Loki, and it's not the same Loki we know from Infinity War. It's all over the place. Kane the Conqueror, I liked the ending. It was more of a dialogue confrontation between them instead of a big fight, which I did appreciate. But the girl in the show ruined the whole thing. It ruined my enjoyment of the show. To me, she got more screen time and more fight scenes to do than Loki did. I know we've seen Loki fight, but the show is called Loki. I don't want a girl version of Loki. I don't mind girl side characters. I'm not sexist, but when they're annoying and they stop your main character from doing crazy intense stuff, it gets kind of fucking annoying. Loki, Tom Hiddleston's performance was really good. Special effects, the CGI, the dialogue were pretty good for the most part. But for me, the story I did not really like. All the supporting characters just kind of ruined it for me. So that's my opinion on Loki. I don't really have much else to say about it. Coming in at number 4, we got What If. And, you know what? I might have fucked up this order, but What If was an experience for sure. We have not had a show like What If before. Just give me 1 second. I gotta count something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, number 4. And it was alright. I think this episode with Doctor Strange was the best. I think they did such a good job of just, even if you didn't know Doctor Strange, they just hook you right away. And they did it in a half hour. and it was emotionally amazing. It was awesome. But unfortunately, these episodes don't hold up on a rewatch. I thought the Doctor Strange episode was awesome, and they nailed this in a half hour way better than what Multiverse of Madness did in 2 hours. I like this evil Doctor Strange way better. It just suits the cartoon so much more than doing it live action. The zombie episode I liked. Those are probably it. Everything else was Captain Carter and whatever. I didn't really like it. The one with Ultron was good. I can't remember if that was the zombie one or not, or if that was a completely different episode. But if it was, then I would say 3 episodes in total out of 8 or 9 that we got. I liked them for the most part. I do feel like they could have done a bit more. Some of the episodes felt like the one with Killmonger and Tony Stark I thought was ridiculously stupid. They could have done a lot cooler concepts, but hey, whatever. It's just an animated show at the end of the day. Alright, so we got our top 3. And at number 3, I'm kind of stuck between WandaVision and Hawkeye. I think I'm going to put Hawkeye at number 3 just because I thought Hawkeye was good at the beginning. I really liked the smaller scale that they went with. It wasn't this big CGI madness. It was very small scale, and I liked it. I liked the relationship between him and Kate Bishop. She's pretty hot, and she's a good actor. I would say from episode 3 onwards, the show kind of just dips down in quality and story. Especially with the Kingpin showing up, it's kind of like ridiculously stupid because we had him in Daredevil, and Daredevil, he got to do whatever he wanted, and it was bloody, it was rated R, and it was awesome. And then you shoot him over to the MCU, and he gets killed in like 2-3 minutes, and he does absolutely nothing. His presence really doesn't mean anything. When you see him, you're like, oh, Kingpin. But like once he, settles in, it's kind of like whatever. It doesn't really matter. I thought Hawkeye and Kate Bishop were really good. The villains, I liked the villains at the beginning, and then near the end, it just kind of got stupid. And the third act, the final battle in the show, just didn't sit good with me. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was just bored watching it. All in all, Hawkeye is not a bad show. It knows what it is. It's an average show, and it doesn't do anything more to push those limits, and that's what I liked about it. But like, some of the fight scenes were so boring to watch, and Hawkeye's not really the most interesting character, especially when you have a lifeless Jeremy Renner playing him. I think he's always been in the middle with me. I think Endgame, he had his best moments, but like ever since then, I was never a huge Jeremy Renner fan. I don't think he's good at displaying emotion. I don't think he's a good actor. He's very just one tone. I don't know. He's very boring to watch. Coming in at number 2. This took me a while to get a hang of this one, but WandaVision. I put WandaVision at number 2 because for the most part, it was a good show. There was a couple of scenes that just stick in my head that are fucking ridiculous. After Wanda, fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Imprisoned all these civilians into her little bubble. And then near the end, you get the speech. These people will never know what you risked for them. It's like, what? Other than that, there's a couple of scenes I didn't like, but other than that, mostly, at the beginning of the MCU, I really liked Wanda and Vision. I really liked them together. I thought they were awesome. Vision by himself and Wanda by herself, but you put them together, I think they make a really good duo. And the show had a couple of horror elements I kind of liked. No, I wouldn't say horror, but a lot more suspenseful. Like the bee guy, but then you don't know what happens to him. There was a lot of things I liked. I thought the story was good. I thought the acting was brilliant. I thought how they did the whole 80s jumping back and forth. I liked that a lot because I was watching it with my mom, and my mom grew up with all those shows they were referencing. So she got to explain to me, and I got to understand it more. If I didn't have my mom there, I probably would have been like, what the fuck is this? Because I wasn't born in the 80s or 70s. But with my mom there explaining to me how, you know, everything, what show was what, and, you know, I don't know, it just made the show a bit more enjoyable. And I thought the ending to it was good, how she loses her kids, and that's how it should have been. I thought there was good consequences. I think there's 2 episodes in here they could have easily ripped out, and just it would have been like a very good pacing. The first episode is in black and white, the whole episode, and then you get Wanda and Vision at the end. I didn't really like that at first, and then I thought about it. It was you gotta appreciate the different style they were going for, right? This show is completely different than any other of these shows, and that's why it's in my number 2 spot. But coming in at number 1, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This and Loki were my most hyped out of these, and I gotta say, Falcon and Winter Soldier delivered on everything that I wanted from this show. We got the character development, we got the fucking set pieces, we got the fight scenes, even though Disney went back and edited some of the fight scenes. So the one part in the shipping container, Bucky throws the big giant steel pole, and it goes right fucking through the guy. Dude, the first time I saw that, I didn't care there was no blood. I was like, God damn, that was dope. Marvel went back into Disney Plus, and they changed that scene. So if you go and watch it now, when Bucky throws it, it just bounces off the guy. I'm like, I don't know why they did that. Anyways, Sam and Bucky here, their chemistry is fucking on point. It is so good. Anytime I could watch a movie of these guys just talking, and I would eat it up. The story here is awesome. The political agenda made sense. It didn't feel like when Sam gives his speech near the end, it doesn't feel overdone like they're shoving it down your throat. I really like the way they did it. The action is awesome. The only complaint is the Flag Smashers. Their presence is iffy, but I liked them for the most part. They're pretty generic, but not in a bad way. They had powers, but they weren't too powerful, other than having the serum. Without the serum, they can't do anything. I really liked Zemo being here. Captain Walker killing that guy with the fucking shield. There are so many good moments in this show. Even the first episode with Bucky just talking to his therapist. I loved it. And the cinematography is awesome. It's exactly how the Winter Soldier was. And this show was literally, like, I wouldn't call it perfect. I'd put it like 8, 9 out of 10. It's like almost there. I think if the villains just had a bit better motivation, I think they would have nailed it out of the park. I think the ending was great. The scale is small like Hawkeye, but at the same time, it still feels big, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like in the middle. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I started watching it a second time, but then I got caught up watching something else. But this is a show I really want to go back to. Like I said, the chemistry between Bucky and Sam is awesome. The flashback scenes of Bucky in Wakanda, how he got his arm, like everything. I loved it. I really wish they put this much care into the other shows when it comes to the story. Because if they didn't destroy Loki like they did in retcon, I think Loki could have been in my top 3, but they completely demolished that character. But Falcon and the Winter Soldier takes the cake for being just an absolute blast to watch. And one of the best parts about this show is Sam sitting down with the dude at the bank, and the guy's asking him where he's been, you know, the past 10 years because of the blip and everything. But, you know, superheroes, he doesn't own a house, he doesn't pay taxes, so it's very, very hard for him to live a normal life after Endgame. And I really like how they just made the human side of it so appealing. It wasn't just like, oh, he doesn't have a house. No, he doesn't pay taxes, he doesn't have a house, his sister's gotta help him. He might be fucking, you know, the Falcon, but he's not when it comes to normal human life, he's struggling a lot. And they did such a good job of capturing that. So, thank you everyone for watching the review. That is my ranking of all the MCU shows. Tomorrow my review of The Thing will be coming out. And then probably Blade 2 Friday morning. So, if you guys want me to do anything else to reviews, let me know.